Yeah. What it is, it's your boy Eddie Cypher back with another episode of the studio session. And today we have a special guest in the building. Let me tell you a little bit about her from Hinesville, Georgia.
Yes.
She's a songstress. She got a loving personality. She's a free spirit. One of the best vocal ranges I've heard in the 912. And lastly, a loving mom of two. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Italy.
Hello.
How are you? How are you doing today?
I am doing fine. It was not that long of a drive, but it would give me time to listen to my music. So I'm not complaining. I love listening to my music.
Yeah, it's about like an hour, hour and some change.
Yeah, a lot shorter than I thought it was gonna be. Surprise.
Yeah, when I take that drive, I usually come from like Pooler, so it's a little shorter. So I come from work. Yeah, let's dive right into it. I heard that you started singing at 3.
I did. I remember the first song that I ever sang too. It was This Little Light of Mine. I sang it in this church that my Nana brought me to with my sisters. So, yeah.
This Little Light of Mine. That's one of those church favorites.
And it was the perfect song for a 3-year-old me to sing. Not too many words and easy melody.
How was that?
I barely remember, honestly. A lot of what I remember is from what other people told me when it comes to like me growing up in the church, especially that young. I wasn't as active when I was 3. I think like 3 years old, that was like my very first time. And then it took me a couple years before like I found a church home and got into a youth choir to actually start like singing in it. But yeah.
It's cool that you say you don't remember because, certain people may say, yeah, I've been singing since I was this and singing that. And I'll be thinking in my head, like, how do you remember that?
Right, right.
Like,
I remember the church. I don't remember singing in it. I just remember people telling me, yeah, I remember you used to sing in the church. You was 3 years old, just singing your heart out. I was like, oh, no, I'm glad you remember. I can't recall.
So, by you singing in the church, is that where you learn how to use your voice?
Not necessarily. When I was in middle school, I went into chorus class where I learned the fundamentals of music and vocal technique. And there I really learned how to control my voice because we had to sing a certain way. And then around that time as well, that's also when I started going back into church choirs and singing, but it wasn't nothing I was like too seriously involved in. Most of my time singing respectfully was in middle school. So yeah.
Okay. And did you have like any like little groups back in the day, like when you first started? Because I know when I first started, I kind of had like, some groups and stuff like that.
When I was in 5th grade, I created a band with my cousin. I forgot what we had called it, but we had wrote a couple songs in it, and it was like some humanitarian type stuff. So we were writing about like saving the world our cats and stuff. It was cute, but I think we only wrote probably about 3 songs, and then she had moved away, so it never really got solidified. But I can say that me and my sisters or unofficially have been in a group since we started singing at 3 up until like, I would say the end of high school.
So your sister can sing too?
Oh, both of them can sing, yes. We used to be called the Williams Sisters or the 3 Angels. We'd be singing in the churches together, yeah. We'd have tight harmonies. I was the soprano. My youngest sister is the alto, and my older sister is the...
You still in contact with her?
Oh, yeah. We live together. Well, I live with my younger sister. My older sister, she has a place in Savannah, but she comes over very often. We're like this.
Sound like a group coming back together.
Man, if I can convince them, I could probably convince my older sister, but my younger sister, she's not that into the music like me and my older sister are.
I guess you gotta prove them wrong.
Yeah.
So, What would you say your style of singing, like your style of artist? Like with your R&B, you neo soul, you alternative rock,
Ooh,
whatever.
right now I'm R&B. Right now, I would consider myself more trap soul R&B in this moment. Uh, a little sneak peek into the future. I'm working on a project after this EP that is a little bit alternative. It's not R&B, but it's not pop, but it's not neo soul. It's me. I'll just say that it's me, and it's very emotional. But that's for later date. Right now, I am R&B, and hopefully, I want to solidify myself into neo soul. That's where my heart is. That's the main genre that I listen to.
Cool. So by you being R&B, what do you see missing from R&B in 2025? Like what would you see missing?
The beat, the blues.
The
A lot of
blues.
people, and I mean, as music evolves over time, the sound is gonna evolve and it's gonna change, and you're not gonna hear the same things in 2023 that you hear in like 2003. So, but one thing that I really did love growing up listening to R&B was the soul that people would put into their music, the way that they would sing with their entire being. Nowadays, I still do enjoy new age R&B, but a lot of the soul is missing from the sound of it. Like I could give an example, maybe Bryson Tiller. I love Bryson Tiller. I think lyrically he's a beast. I like the vibes, but it's almost empty to me just a little bit. Like it's hard for me to connect emotionally to his stuff.
I like Bryson Tiller, but when Bryson Tiller came out, I was more so on Tory Lanez.
Yeah, I haven't listened much. I know like maybe 3 songs by Tori, and from what I've heard, he's good. But it's really hard for me to get into that type of music, especially from men, because there is such a disconnect from what they sing about to how I would like to relate to music. So I really I listen to everybody. It doesn't matter the gender. I love male R&B artists and female R&B artists. But I do relate to the Summer Walker and the SZAs and the
Okay,
Janaes a lot
okay.
more. So
I actually prefer female R&B.
yeah.
Like that is what calms me down. Like if I'm, aggravated or something, I turn on some Jasmine Sullivan
Oh
in a heartbeat.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes. And in fact, it's her, Jasmine Sullivan, Mooney Long. And I was just talking about this with my sister. We was talking about like the R&B artists who actually kind of still do incorporate that soul into today's music. They got it.
Yeah.
They're still doing it for us. Yeah.
Do you feel like they are the type of artists that still sing about heartbreaks and stuff like that?
Um. Yeah. I mean, Mooney Long, the way she sings, like, what is that song? You were made for me. That song
Yeah.
is like the pinnacle of like heartbreak, longing, yearning for like your other, and it's like that's like the true essence of what R&B, because R&B is like it is more on the solemn, sad type side. I mean, you got your happy tracks too, but R&B was built off of heartbreak, and it was built off of vulnerability and opening your heart and pouring your heart and your soul into your music. And Jasmine and Mooney Long and even SZA. Honestly, SZA is a little bit more alternative R&B, but she still kind of gives that vulnerability, still opens her soul and allows me to connect with her in a more in-depth way than I would say the others allow me to.
So have you wrote any songs catering to a heartbreak or after a heartbroken situation?
Let me think. I would say yes. Not any on this upcoming EP. These are more surface level type. I'm just trying to catch a vibe and work through my issues by myself. But I do have some in the vault that is like me absolutely gut-wrenched, pouring my heart out, screaming, crying, snot nose, tears running down my face type songs that I definitely got a little bit more vulnerable than I'm comfortable with people hearing. Just yet. It's gonna get there though.
So I was listening, like I was looking at one of your TikToks, and I want you to shed some more light on this group I heard about. Tell me all about All True Gentlemen.
Oh, that's my dad's group that he created back in the 90s, early 2000s. He's played a song for me like back in the day when we were still young, but I don't remember it. I wouldn't be able to ask him about anything now because he sadly passed away when I was 17. But it's something that he has talked about that I know he was very fond of being a part of. Music is a big part of his life, and it's the main reason that it's a big part of my life because of his love for music and R&B. I saw him growing up singing, enjoying music, listening to Usher and Neo and Jodeci and all them. So yeah.
So you know about all the greats then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's my whole playlist. I love me 90s and 2000s R&B.
Yeah, my dad does music, and like you said, it passed down to you. So my dad passed it down to me, and I passed it down to my daughter. Because my daughter does music too.
Yeah.
But she wants to do like her own thing, find her own way. Even though I have all this stuff over here, she got all her stuff over there. So.
Right. You gotta be independent just a little bit to find your own voice. But eventually, how old is she?
She is 20. Well, going on 20.
Yeah. Eventually, she's gonna find her way back. And
I'm always here for her whenever she need me. You know. But she's more on the pop side. Like she's more like her favorite artist is Billie Eilish.
Yes. Okay, Billie. I love Billie. I mean, I don't listen to her, but I love her sound, and I love how she expresses that sound in her music. I think it's very original. I love pop music too. My favorites are Ariana Grande. I love me Ari. In fact, I could say she influences me just a little bit too, because she dabbles a little bit in R&B.
Yeah,
so
she does.
She's an honorary, R&B girly. But I love pop. I love all genres, actually. I can't even. R&B has my soul, but pop is still. I will tap my foot to a good Billie Eilish song, a Taylor Swift song. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is some of the equipment that you use to record in? Like, do you go to a big studio? Do you have a home studio? Like, what does that look like?
Well, I use my phone. I have this app called BandLab that my ex-boyfriend back in the day used to record on, and he showed me all the ropings of it. So I took to it, and I just had my little iPhone headphones with the microphone, and I just record on there. And back then it was trash. I didn't know nothing about mixing or nothing. And then most recently I took to YouTube, and I just started researching how to do all that stuff, specifically on BandLab, because it's free and I don't have to pay nothing to do nothing.
Hey.
So yeah, and I have this little microphone. It's not the best quality, but how I do the equalizers and the de-essers and everything, I make it work. So
I mean, that's actually cool.
Yeah.
To record yourself, mix yourself, and master yourself, engineer and all that stuff. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but you know your sound. You know what you're looking for.
Yes.
You know what you want to hear.
Yes.
You know what echo you want to do. So when you tell somebody you know how to do it and they don't give it back, I kind of understand where you would want to do it yourself.
Yeah, at that, and I'm also a perfectionist. I literally I get a little bit anxious when I hear something and one thing is out of place and I can't fix that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll drive you crazy.